Commuting feels like a lottery where one delayed train ruins the entire day. Buying a bottle of water means adding another piece of plastic to a guilt-ridden trash pile. Getting rid of household waste feels like a confusing chore that only ever moves the mess out of sight. Switzerland doesn't just improve these things, it completely eliminates the daily frustrations that the rest of the world accepts as normal. Today, we're counting down 15 things in Switzerland that instantly make life better. Watch until the end because number 15 is an invisible feat of engineering that fundamentally protects the entire country from the chaos of modern logistics. Number 1. PET return logistics. The rest of the world approaches plastic recycling with blind optimism, tossing mixed materials into a bin and hoping municipal sorters can figure it out, which usually results in contaminated batches heading straight to a landfill. The Swiss fixed this by designing the bottle around the collection system rather than around disposal. Through a centralized network managed by PET Recycling Schweiz, only specific beverage containers made of pure PET are accepted at any of the 50,000 designated drop-off points nationwide. Eliminating the confusing mix of plastics at the source makes the mechanical sorting process flawlessly efficient, recovering over 80% of all PET bottles and cutting the environmental impact of new production in half, without relying on consumer guesswork. Number 2. The Urban Fountain Network. Staying hydrated in most major cities means constantly stopping at a convenience store to buy a plastic bottle, or gambling on a poorly maintained public tap. Zurich alone operates over 1,200 public fountains running continuously with water drawn to the exact same strict hygiene standards as the domestic tap supply. High-quality alpine spring and groundwater is routed directly into the streets as permanent infrastructure rather than a retail opportunity, eliminating the physical clutter of carrying a bottle and completely erasing the daily micro-expense of buying a basic human necessity. Number 3. The Taktfahrplan transit system. Commuters around the world accept train delays as inevitable, watching helplessly as a single late departure creates a ripple effect that destroys the entire schedule. The Swiss built their rail network around a brilliant mechanical logic called the clock face schedule, where trains are designed to arrive and depart at the exact same minute past the hour, on every line. The Swiss Federal Railways achieved a 93% punctuality rate by engineering their physical infrastructure around the timetable, rather than fitting the timetable to the tracks. When a delay does occur, dispatchers isolate it using built-in buffer times, stopping the disruption from cascading forward and ensuring travelers consistently make connections as tight as 3 minutes. If you've made it this far, the next 12 items get considerably more interesting. And number 15 is the one that surprises almost everyone. Number 4. Paper bag waste economics. In most neighborhoods, throwing away garbage means tossing everything into a massive bin and paying a flat monthly utility fee, giving residents zero financial motivation to reduce their output. The Swiss inverted this dynamic by requiring citizens to purchase specific government-taxed bags called Zuri sacks for any non-recyclable waste they want collected. Every single item thrown away now costs actual money, creating an immediate personal financial incentive to sort out the recyclables, glass, paper, and aluminum, which are collected separately for free. The resulting behavioral shift dramatically lowered landfill dependence, pushing the national recycling rate well past 50% simply by making the wasteful choice the expensive one. Number 5. Underground waste containers. On garbage day in most countries, sidewalks turn into obstacle courses filled with overflowing bins, foul odors, and loose trash blowing into the street. Swiss municipalities eliminate this weekly disruption using subterranean waste systems, where only a sleek steel chute is visible above the pavement. The actual garbage drops into a massive concrete bunker buried beneath the street, kept naturally cool by the earth to prevent odors and completely inaccessible to urban wildlife. When capacity sensors detect the bunker is full, a specialized truck arrives to hoist the underground silo out by crane, emptying weeks of community waste in minutes without ever cluttering the pedestrian walkways. Number 6. Legally protected vacation infrastructure. In most countries, hustle culture and low-level corporate pressure have quietly convinced millions of workers to treat paid time off as something to be earned rather than used, leaving days on the table out of fear or guilt. Swiss federal law treats this pressure as a structural problem worth legislating against. A strict minimum of 4 weeks of paid leave is mandatory for every worker, extending to 5 weeks for anyone under 20, and employers are actively discouraged from paying out unused time in lieu of actual rest. The law is designed to enforce real physical and mental recovery, not just a line on a contract, turning rest into a civic standard rather than a personal indulgence. Number 7. Automated luggage routing. Traveling with heavy bags typically means hauling suitcases through crowded stations, fighting for overhead storage, and dragging everything across cobblestone streets before reaching a hotel. The SBB luggage transport service removes this burden by integrating baggage logistics directly into the national transit grid. Passengers drop their bags at any railway station or arrange a home collection, and the rail network routes the cargo autonomously to their final destination or participating hotel. Travelers step off their punctual train empty-handed and walk directly into their day, with their luggage already waiting in the room. Number 8. The integrated postal bus network. Living in a remote mountain village in most countries means total dependence on a personal car, because conventional transit agencies won't run services to valleys with small populations. The post-auto fleet, those bright yellow buses originally built to carry mail to alpine communities, extended their routes to carry passengers as well. These bus schedules are precisely coordinated with train arrivals in the valley stations below, guaranteeing that even a village of 50 residents stays seamlessly connected to the full national and international rail network. Residents never need to cross-reference transfer schedules because the yellow bus is simply always waiting on the platform when the train pulls in. Number 9. Mandatory quiet hours. Urban living almost guarantees interruption. A neighbor's lawnmower on a Sunday morning, power tools echoing through the building at 10 at night. Swiss law addresses this directly through the legal concept of Ruhezeit, or quiet hours, which are enforced during nighttime periods, over the midday lunch hour, and for the entire duration of Sunday. Operating noisy machinery, recycling glass bottles, or running a drill during these periods is both socially and legally actionable. The practical effect is that the weekend feels architecturally different. Peace is not accidental, it is written into the civic code. Number 10. Industrial standard shared laundry. Renters in most apartment buildings are accustomed to flimsy in-unit washing machines that break down frequently, leak, and struggle with large loads. Swiss apartment buildings typically solve this with dedicated basement laundry rooms called Waschküche, fitted with heavy-duty commercial machines that cost thousands of dollars and are built for continuous use. Tenants book exclusive access on a rotating schedule, getting commercial cleaning power that finishes a full load in a fraction of the time residential units require. The centralized setup prevents water damage in individual units, reduces noise through the floors, and measurably lowers the building's total energy consumption. Number 11. Trust-based farm shops. Buying fresh local produce usually means navigating a crowded weekend market or paying a significant premium in a grocery chain's organic aisle. Across the Swiss countryside, farmers place unmanned wooden sheds directly on their land, stocked daily with fresh eggs, milk, cheese, and seasonal vegetables. There is no cashier and no security camera, just a lockbox or a QR payment code where customers calculate their own total and leave the correct amount. The system cuts out distribution middlemen entirely, letting farmers capture the full margin while giving neighbors round-the-clock access to food harvested that same morning. For the buyer, it replaces the transactional experience of a grocery store with something that feels closer to borrowing from a neighbor's garden. Number 12. The National Veloland Network. Cycling in most cities means sharing a narrow painted lane with trucks and delivery vehicles, making the experience stressful and genuinely dangerous enough that most people abandon the idea quickly. Rather than treating cycling as an afterthought of urban planning, the Swiss developed Switzerland Mobility, a meticulously signposted network of over 12,000 kilometers of dedicated bike routes running across the entire country. Instead of disjointed city lanes that abruptly terminate at dangerous intersections, these unified paths guide riders through urban centers, along lake shores, and across mountain passes using a single standardized red numbering system. The bicycle becomes a reliable, predictable commuting vehicle rather than a recreational toy taken out on weekends when conditions feel safe enough. Number 13. The Highway Vignette System. Driving across most countries means braking every few dozen miles to queue at a toll booth, digging for change, and burning fuel while idling in the backup. The Swiss bypassed physical toll plazas entirely by requiring a single adhesive sticker, a vignette, affixed to the windshield of any car using the motorway network. One flat annual payment of 40 Swiss francs grants unlimited access to every kilometer of national highway without a single stop. The approach eliminates the infrastructure cost of toll booths, removes the bottleneck entirely, and produces a completely uninterrupted driving experience from one border to the other. Number 14. Canton-level direct democracy. In most representative democracies, citizens vote for a politician once every few years and then have no further formal mechanism to challenge the decisions that follow, however far those decisions stray from the original promises. The Swiss system gives citizens the direct power to veto new laws or propose constitutional amendments through national referendums. If the government plans to build a tunnel, restructure a public service, or adjust a specific tax, the population fills out a ballot on the exact issue. It routes political frustration into a concrete, functional outlet, so that the physical infrastructure and social rules of daily life carry the explicit approval of the people actually living within them. Number 15. The Gotthard Base Tunnel Freight Strategy. Highway congestion from heavy cargo trucks is an accepted cost of modern infrastructure almost everywhere, destroying road surfaces, slowing commuter traffic, and polluting the mountain passes that goods must cross to move between countries. Rather than widening roads or increasing truck capacity, the Swiss carved the longest and deepest railway tunnel in the world directly through the base of the Alps. The fully flat, high-speed rail line beneath the mountains allows massive freight trains to bypass the winding alpine roads entirely, shifting millions of tons of cargo from rubber tires to steel rails every single year. Thousands of heavy transport trucks disappear from public highways each day. The mountain environment above is preserved from the diesel traffic that would otherwise cross it, and an invisible, frictionless trade route operates continuously beneath the rock, engineered to be completely unnoticed by the country it serves. If any of these surprised you, the full list of sources and the extended history behind each one is in the description below.